It's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Bulverde Road. During the next 2 hours, our experts will help you with your gardening questions when you call 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. Or come by Milberger's during the show and have your question answered in person. And now it's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
Good afternoon. Happy Sunday. Welcome everybody to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. I'm Alex Escobar here with Dr. Calvin Finch and Mark Peterson. We'd love to hear from you. Give us a call at 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867.
Well, it's not quite as cold, or is it today?
No.
I guess we dressed up more for it.
We were a little over-prepared.
Sweaters and jackets.
But no,
many layers.
I've got my gloves in case I need them.
But no, feels nice and cool. Definitely not what you expect for mid-April.
Well, when I got up this morning, I looked. It was 57, but felt like 47. I went, whoa. Time to bundle up, get the hat, gloves.
Well, and the rain last night was significant. They said they got an inch and a half here at Milberger's. I suspect that we got pretty much the same by the airport because it was noisy, and my West Highland Terriers decided that it was best to sleep with me.
No.
When they didn't much care for the lightning and thunder. So. But
I just heard the thunder a couple of times. I didn't see any lightning.
Oh,
but, just maybe where I lived.
Pretty serious. But that's good to get some real rain for a switch.
When do we get more? I want more.
Yeah.
There should be some coming up these next few days.
I think
you've been
Tuesday
saying
was
that all along.
Yeah,
I'll keep saying it.
I looked last night, and Tuesday was supposed to be rain all day. But hopefully we'll see.
Well, I went over there and looked at the Ceniza.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah, there's quite a few selections over there. And they're on sale, I guess, yeah.
I asked the staff what kind of Cenizas they have. There were so many they didn't know.
There are a lot of them are kind of those that I've never heard the name before. But what was the one you talked about, Green Cloud?
Yeah, I talked about Green Cloud. They did have that one.
A lot of them, yeah. They looked
they said they had that one. And then I also asked about viburnum. That was my two assignments. And they said they had 4. They had Corsandaqua, Sweet Viburnum, and then 2 small ones, which I remember the names at the time. So I went, oh, yeah. But now I couldn't remember right before the show. One was Monique or Monarch or something like that. And I was familiar with that, but they have at least 4.
And then we were talking about 5 or 6 different selections of Nandinas.
Yeah.
There's at least that.
Yeah, at least that. I'm thinking there was more like 8 or 10.
I'm
different.
with you on that. But gosh, yeah, and they're disciplined growers, attractive plants.
Yeah. There's even some that are sterile. And for those who are worried about the Nandinas and being invasive, those are the ones you want to get.
Yeah, and Neil had a response to a writer.
That's why I'm remembering it.
Yeah. That was surprisingly strong.
Yeah, it was okay. There you go. That's the word I'll look for. A very tactful language. It was a strong response from him.
And I have to admit I agree with him that Nandinas are they fill a real gap, and there's a lot of good selections there. They're disciplined growers. I've never had the problem with them being invasive. We grow quite a few in my neighborhood, but And a few will reseed. The birds, of course, I was going to say like the berries, but they eventually eat the berries.
Waxwings like the berries. To their own detriment sometimes. If you eat a lot of the Nandina berries, you could get a strychnine byproduct.
So is that the reason why you resist eating a lot of them? Or?
Yeah, that's the reason why. Now, invasiveness, I was along a creek just a little bit west of here, and I saw a lot of escaped Nandinas. So I've always been a little hesitant about them, but much like tropical milkweed, if you do some proper practices, you don't have to worry about it. I.e., come January, take the fruit off. Milkweed, we cut down April 1st, tropical milkweed.
No, we cut it down October 1st.
October 1st, what did I say?
April.
No, October. Oh, no, do it now. October. And so that was Neil's advice, and I thought it was very good. If you have a problem, there are certain selections which have their fruit in clusters, and you can just come in and prune them off, and it's very easy. Takes 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, and you're done. So I thought it was good. It was tactful, as Neil is wont to be, but it was a strong response to that. He has some strong feelings on certain stuff. I don't always agree with those strong feelings, but I still like them.
And let's see, the zinnias here. I went ahead and got some Dreamland zinnias. I got some a good selection, bunch of yellow and they don't call it pink, but it's a pinkish color that
I don't know what to call that. What would you call that one straight ahead of us, Alan?
On this first table, or
kind of.
We're in the middle.
Yeah, that's the one I'm looking at.
Except those are your little varieties.
My profusion.
Yeah. And these are
like.
to the
it's not fuchsia, is it?
To the left over there are the
maybe fuchsia.
And these to the left are the Dreamland. I'm waiting. One of my favorites is that glow in the dark orange, and we usually get that. I expect we will be getting some more of those. That's a great plant. But if you're looking for some plants that you can provide nectar to the monarchs that are coming through now, zinnias are here, lantanas. You don't.
I'm looking at the perennials, mistflower. There's some mistflower that are blooming more than others, but surely they all should.
Yeah, and the our Gregii, Salvia Gregia, are available too. So you can, even if your flowers that have been in place for a while are not blooming, you can get some instant nectar sources for the monarchs with here at Millburgers, or even another favorite nursery. Get them in blooming and even leave them in the containers until you're ready. Our monarchs will be moving through in April. Then, of course, if you have some milkweed, they will lay some eggs. And there is some milkweed here now. We've got some nice foliage in the tropical milkweed. That's available. And I think I was thinking it was on sale, but it's not.
It is not. I know y'all mentioned viburnum earlier. Viburnum is on sale. Number 3, regularly $24.99, on sale $16.88. I think Mark said we have about 4 different types of viburnum.
At least the staff could remember 4. There's probably some more varieties out there, but all different sizes. Sinaqua is bigger one, and then Sweet is smaller. And then you have these very small ones, about 4 to 5 feet. 3 to 6.
Yeah, I like them. They're evergreen, shade tolerant. Most of them have a bloom period and berries. And now, where the birds may hesitate to eat the Nandina berries, but they certainly don't hesitate to eat the viburnum. They'll as soon as they're ripe, they'll chomp them down. So that's a great plant too. And then of course, lots of hollies, different hollies over there.
And that's one of our favorite hedges or small accent plants are the hollies.
Shade tolerant, and when we talk about disciplined growers, almost all of them are very disciplined. They don't require much pruning. The one that the dwarf
Dwarf
Yaupon
the gumdrop-shaped
does
one?
not require any pruning, but the larger one usually, that's the one they use for the when they're doing these classic sculptures with the hollies.
Mm-hmm.
Quite often that's the plant they've chosen to prune, and I had it one time for several years. I had a hedge that was about 8 feet tall and only a foot wide. That's all I had the space for, and that just a versatile plant for sure. And it responds to that kind of pruning if you need to do it. Otherwise, it can be a big plant if you let it. And it's another one that has the berries that the birds end up liking or eating. Well, we got our address correction for our friend on Thursday. If you're interested in the monarch and milkweed class in Floresville on Thursday at 6 p.m., it's at the Wilson County Court area over there, and they're going to have a little flag out in front of the courthouse, and I wrote down the address, and of course I'm looking for the address now.
Yeah, well, you're supposed to have that.
Yes. Okay. Oh, it's the Justice Center on Highway, the 810th Street.
Oh,
is the official, yeah.
We went up.
Yeah.
We went from 4th to 10th.
And the 810th Street, the Wilson County Justice Center, and the Master Gardener flag out front. Okay. And I don't think you'll have a problem. The Floresville is not a huge metropolitan area, and the court,
I'd say the
Justice Center there is in that
well
central
signed,
area.
if you will, and you can't miss it.
But if you can, go ahead and call them so that we can make sure we have enough of the free germinated native milkweed plants. We'll give everybody that does pre-register one plant. Then we're also going to do something a little different. We're going to give you some stratified seed. And the idea there is if we can, the survival loss, most of it occurs, in our experiences, is in the transplanting. So we're trying, at the recommendation of our suppliers, we're trying the seed to get the gardeners that participate and the folks that go to the class to go ahead and plant the seed directly into the site, someplace in their backyard garden or wherever they decide to put it, and just you just barely cover it, 1/4 inch soil, and water it lightly, frequently, until it germinates and gets to be about 6 or 8 inches tall, and then it's very drought tolerant once it's established. So, if you're interested in giving that a try, come visit that class, and that's again Thursday at 6 p.m. And then there's another opportunity.
You want me to give the number first for the Floresville?
Yes, that's a good idea.
Yes, the number to pre-register for the Floresville class on Thursday, April 23rd is 830-299-0069. 830-299-0069.
And that's Master Gardener Molly's phone number, and she's the one that talked to Alex and I this morning to correct the address of where the class is going to be held. Then on the 2nd, which is a Saturday at 9:30 a.m., the class will be held in New Braunfels, and that class is at the garden center out there on Mark. You remember what that address is on the
324 Research? Is that right? Did I remember correctly?
325.
325 Resource Drive Boulevard.
Right close to Highway 46. And we have a phone number for that too. You got that, Alex?
Let's see. I got.
Yes, for New Braunfels, it's 830-620-3440.
Let's try to give it to him one more time, maybe.
830-620-3440.
And that's the phone number of the AgriLife Extension Center. And they won't be there today, but they will be there during the week, and you can pre-register. It's a wonderful facility. Both Mark and I have given a number of presentations there, and they've got the gardens, and that is the neighborhood gardening event, and so our class will be the first thing to lead off the event, but gosh, if you want to participate all day, you can. Lots of lectures and crafts and displays. Lots of experts, various kinds of experts available there, and of course the displays are wonderful. So it's worth a free event, of course, but a lot of fun and a very, very nice facility. It's co-sponsored by the Master Naturalist, Comal County Master Naturalist this year. And, of course, the Master Gardeners are partners, too, along with the AgriLife Extension. Can you think of anything else we need to add to the...
To the two?
Yeah.
I don't believe so. I think we touched base on everything.
Okay.
The phone numbers, the dates, the times, the correct address for the Floresville location. But it should be exciting. I think we could touch base more on that after this break. 210-308-8867. We're going to be right back with Millburgers Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Welcome back to Millburgers Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Give us a call at 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867.
I want to see if Mark will give us. Mark, the ratamas are blooming all over, and can you give us a little bit of information about them?
So over the past 10 years, maybe 15 years, a lot of landscape architects have been speccing what was formerly known as Circadium what we call Palo Verde from the desert. There's a special one called Desert Museum, which is a really nice variety because it doesn't have thorns. These tend to be small, roundish trees or shrubs. And then we have more of our native one. Our local native one's Retama or Jerusalem thorn. And these tend to be vase shape. I've been looking on my phone, and they get about approximately the same size. So 20 feet, 25 feet.
They quite often have a real nice shape.
Both of them have a really nice shape. The Palo Verde is going to have a leaf about 3 to 4 inches long, whereas the Retama has a really long ribbon-like leaf, 8 to 10 inches long. And that's one of the main reasons, plus their shape. And you see a lot of these Palo Verdes now in small landscape places. They're very drought tolerant. In fact, the one way you kill them is overwater them. So, and I saw a couple of them planted in a lawn along a commercial restaurant, and I went, they're not going to make it. They're not going to make. Sure enough, they died because they're watering the lawn. These are desert plants. Now, I saw some in the new Rosarios down on, St. Mary's? And they're in really small holes along the street. And at first I worried about it, but then I saw they were desert museums, so they don't have any thorns, so it was okay right next to the sidewalk, right next to the streets. But they're blooming up a storm.
Yeah.
They're blooming up a storm everywhere in town. You can see them, they're bright yellow.
And the pollinators are the bees and butterflies.
Yeah, I was trying to remember everything that is attracted to them. It's pretty much everything. It's pretty much butterflies, bees, and even hummingbirds will stop by.
Yeah, and they seem to be a favorite nesting area, although they look kind of open. Yeah.
I think it's with the Palo Verde. By the way, they're both in the same genus now. That changed that. Parkinsonia. But anyway, that one has kind of a tight canopy when it's younger, so I can see nesting going on a little bit, even though it's not thornless. But the Retama that has some nice thorns.
Yeah, it does.
So I could see as a protection against predators, and that would be a good place to have a nest.
I have noticed that in my neighborhood there's a lot of people that walk, and they admire we got quite a few people that are good gardeners, and that Retama is one of the plants that it's blooming up a storm now, and so they're admiring it, and they kind of rub their hands over it. Oh, that was a mistake, It's like, but stand back and admire it, not leaning against that. But they are. You kind of miss. I really didn't realize how many are there until they start blooming.
Blooming, exactly. Kind of fade into the landscape. Well, they're green stick. That's their Palo Verde is literally green stick. And so you don't see them. They just kind of fade into the landscape. And then they start blooming. Oh, wow.
And they always seem to be in the kind of maybe on a slope or close to the road where they get hot and dry. That suits them, just like you said, suits them perfectly.
That's an excellent xeriscape plant. Xeriscape plant. The one way you can do it is the one way to kill them is by overwatering. Now, having said that, you have to water to get any plant established.
Well, they're not alone in that overwatering problem.
No.
What do we?
I was going to say that's why I hesitated for a moment. I go, what else do we have?
Paul's favorite, he
had so many.
What is the plant that Paul named?
Bubba?
Bubba.
Desert willow.
Desert willow. That if you try to grow that in the middle of a San Augustine lawn, that doesn't work very well. Even mesquite.
Yeah, I know. That's another one.
Yeah,
mesquite is it's a wonderful tree. We don't often say that, but in a lawn, but it has to be the right type of lawn. So you could do a Bermuda lawn because it's so open. You get plenty of sunlight coming down. And both of them will tolerate infrequent waterings. And it's one a big mesquite is so reminiscent to for those of us who grew up north of a weeping willow. Sometimes a little thornier,
I'll say.
But it has that look, kind of in the springtime. It has a kind of a weepy look to it. But it's a great tree for that.
Yeah. And I guess the Anaquas should be blooming pretty soon. Mm-hmm. Some of them took a little heat, abuse from the freeze. That surprised me a little bit because they weren't hardened off.
They did.
But they're back.
Yeah. We had, again, just like last year, very erratic weather patterns. And I thought the Anaquas were going to be evergreen all winter long. I'm going, this is the year. Sure enough, we had a hard freeze, and they really took it on the chin.
Yeah.
But they're back.
What is there's another tree that's in my neighborhood. It's that's loaded with thorns. It's leaves up a little later than the mesquite, but has a kind of a real compact. Oh gosh, the bees like, and in fact the commercial honey producers.
Oh well, there's a couple. The Weesatch.
That's the one I was trying to think
That's
of.
the one thing. There's a lot of Southwest Texas shrubs that is very important for bees. Native shrubs. Wahio is the most famous one. And Wahio is really nice because it's thornless. Absolutely thornless. But it's just a big bush. I mean, a really big bush. They kind of couch it in terms like multi-stemmed small tree. Well, that usually means it's a big bush.
And is it... Not showy, I take it.
Well, it has cream-colored flowers. The Weesatch has orangey yellow.
Yeah.
Or yellow-orange, whichever way. But the Wahio has cream-colored. In fact, a lot of the brush plants have cream colors. I'm also thinking of Romer's acacia. There's no more acacias left. These botanists, they just get too much work on their hands. There's no acacias left in North America. But we still call it Romer's acacia or cat claw acacia. White brush, black brush. Black brush is very famous for having a cream-colored flower. And they're all about the same time. Uh-huh. The springtime, they get some rain. So April, May, maybe even June. You think of mesquites. They usually, they're flowering. And mesquite has a kind of a pale yellow flower. So they're all about the same. There are a few exceptions, like the Weesatch. It has an orange yellow one, kind of a bright one.
Yeah, so a lot of action out there, and action in kind of a different set of plants. All those desert leaning or southernmost South Texas kind of plants, the Mexican plants, but they fit into our landscapes pretty well, especially if when we don't have a lot of soil, and we're on slopes, or we want a xeriscape landscape that they really do fit the requirement and attractive. If you've noticed those, some of them that we've been blooming, they are attractive too. So the ratamas, especially, I find attractive.
Well, they're blooming out there, and everyone should look into that. If they have hot, dry space, and thin soils, that never occurs around here. So, but we should look into it.
Well, and they're also great nectar plants and attract all the pollinators, meet the needs of the pollinators. And a lot of them are super nesting sites, too.
Yeah.
It's funny how you don't, the predators don't, are not inclined to do much climbing into those thorny, tight growing plants out there. So take a look at those. And Mark, can you think of where's the best place? I mean, is the botanical gardens a good place to take a look at those kind of plants, or? I knew in your wanderings and your walking that you see.
There's a couple of great places to see some of these. Botanical Center is the best, but don't limit yourself to the Botanical Center. I was just at San Antonio Zoo, and they had some great displays in certain parts of the zoo where they're trying to do more of African. They're actually using a lot of native plants that are non-threatening to the wildlife in those habitats. So that's a great place, too. My favorite place to see all kinds of very xeric material is the Desert Museum in Fort Davis. So you take a trip out to Fort Davis, past Alpine, go see the fort, do all that kind of stuff. Maybe go to the Davis Mountains. But don't fail to check out the Desert Museum on the west side of Fort Davis. It's a space that's devoted to all kinds of different desert plants. Some of them we grow here.
What about those films that you made? Or any of those?
A couple of them. I'm trying to think. A couple of them we did deal with the desert plants and xeric plants. It's kind of a niche market. A lot of our native plants could be considered xeric, and by that I mean is once they get on their own, they're pretty much dependent on natural vegetation, natural rainfall. Sorry.
Back when we used to have some of that rainfall.
Yeah. We had some last night. I heard.
Yeah. Gosh,
I heard this strange pounding on my roof.
Well, mentioning that, it'd be nice if we got some reports.
Oh, absolutely.
Did everybody get an inch and a half like they did here at Millburgers, or what did you get out there?
I don't know, but I was driving by St. Mary's University when Oyster Break was ending, and it was coming down pretty hard last night. So I know everybody leaving definitely got soaked around that area. But yeah, let us know the type of rainfall you got in your area at 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with Millburgers Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Welcome back to Millburgers Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Give us a call at 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867, especially if any updates you had on how much rain you got last night and these past few days.
And another issue we talked about yesterday, the purple martins and whether you've seen any. And when I was driving in I was trying to remember the exact time, but I went down one of the roads in the neighborhood, and there was a group of purple martins. I don't know if they were after an insect hatch or something, but they were on the road or resting. It was windy. It was early, and it was windy, and I kind of had to slow way down so I didn't run into them. I guess they were taking a break or they had found something hatching, but it was unusual. I probably should have turned around and tried to figure out more, but my schedule was such. I had to make my move to the Dunkin' Donuts, to get my breakfast before I.
And we are so happy that you did.
Yeah. But
you brought some extra donuts for us.
That would be another report. That would be wonderful if we could get somebody. Let us know if you've had any luck getting. You put your martin houses up, and you've had any luck attracting adult purple martins in, or if you've even seen any groups flying in too. So we need to get some reports on the water, rain, and purple martins, and let's see.
Yeah, tomatoes are always good to have some tomato reports. See how everybody's tomatoes, there are different types of tomatoes.
Oh yeah, we're getting some. We're getting some good action and the results.
We still have tomatoes available
from
here too.
The pole big.
I was going to say, if anybody is kind of a lazy gardener, come on over. We have pole bigs that already have fruits on them, and they're ready to go. And you can say, look what I did. So come on over. We have a few pole bigs left. That's this year's rodeo.
What else
tomato.
have we got left over there?
So we have we got a shipment of some plus. What is
Tycoon?
Plus me.
No, C. What's the C one? Celebrity.
Oh, really?
Celebrity. We got some Celebrity Plus in, and some of the indeterminate ones that may be fun to play with. Better Boy, Big Boy, Sun Girl, Better Girl. But we also got, like I said, Celebrity. There was a few, even 2 or 3 of the Sweet 100s. And I think they've been scooped up, but I did see those in there. We have a smattering, but we mostly have pole bigs left. And like I said, some of them have fruit already on them. So make yourself invincible to your spouse and say, "Look what I've done." You've just gone to the store and got it, but that's okay. That's just fine.
Well, and I got we had mentioned the Tatuma squash.
Yeah, you did.
And a gardener had some seed, and he passed that on to me. I had some, but it was old seed. It did not, as far as I can tell, did not germinate. And so I was glad to get his seed. Of course, he said that he would be expecting me to share the harvest with him. So, but the Tatuma seed is, especially if you had trouble with trying to grow summer squash with the vine borers, which I've had. I get real impatient with them. But if you have Tatuma, you can use it. Produces quickly and productively, and you can use the squash in the same recipes that you use summer squash in too.
Yeah.
And
they are somewhat resistant, so that's the benefit for us in this area.
And then you can get hopefully, if you're lucky, you'll have a neighbor like I did that had some available seed, or you can get it on several sources on the internet. And good sources. It's inexpensive, and they'll respond quickly to your request. Now let's see. The other thing was cucumbers are going strong. Have we got any? I know we got a ton of peppers over there.
Yeah. So we had a few of the cucumbers, but that was last week. I didn't see any this week when I went through them. But we do have peppers. We have 7 or 8 different selections, ranging anywhere from green peppers to jalapenos and maybe some serranos in there.
Now I've got the jalapenos a couple kinds of tam mild, and the one though that has really been productive already for me is the banana. It's producing big fruit already. So we should be getting into.
And we had some of those here. We also had Anaheims and Wonderful. That's another semi-bell Anaheim-shaped pepper. So we have lots of peppers to choose from.
Oh,
in fact, I would recommend everybody get a selection and see which ones I like the best.
Absolutely. 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. We have Bert on the line. Bert, good to hear from you. How are we doing?
As good as you are. It's like I love the cool. I'm outside, or I was outside, and I got flip flops, t-shirts, and shorts. I love the coolness.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But
it was all that time in New York and Iowa.
Go blue, man. Go blue. I know.
Anyway, what's your question there, Bert?
All right. About the question I missed yesterday was my daughter has some, I'm not sure if it's sago palms or whichever, the little shrub palms, but they have a white spots on them. And she said they also have little black insects that are connected with it. What should we do for them?
Yeah.
What, on new foliage? Did she say, was it all new foliage or was it the old foliage?
Yeah, it's new foliage. Yes, Dr. Calvin. It's new foliage.
New foliage, okay. Yeah.
So, but the bugs,
they're pretty invincible in the long run, but now I wonder if I would be more expecting that the weather would be causing something rather than the bugs on the. But Mark, can you think of anything on the new foliage?
No, as far as the insect is concerned, I don't know. It could be a couple of different things, but the main thing is if it's a sago or another small palm, these things are pretty indestructible, and I wouldn't worry about it. If I had to or wanted to do something, I would probably do a little. I was going to. It was going to be on the tip of my tongue to remember the.
Well, when you
the fungicide that's an organic fungicide, we say it different ways.
well, I was thinking lemon juice.
Well, you could do that, yeah. Or hey. Get some essential oils and some olive oil and the lemon juice, and just make a really nice dip. They could dip some nice crunchy French toast in, and then put it also on the bugs.
Hey, Bert, there's no chance she's overwatering it, is there?
No, I don't think so, because she just lets it grow when
Okay.
she just lets it grow. She just lets it grow.
Because, with this
that's what I
kind of
thought.
erratic weather, and they do not respond well to being over water. Usually, though, if they're in a well-drained container, that doesn't faze them either. Maybe in terms of advice, to remind her how pretty invincible they are, and to be patient with them, and to kind of expect some kind of a strange reaction to this weather we're having.
Yeah, so now I remember it. Spinosad, you could either a dust or liquid spinosad. That's an organic insecticide, and you could try that on that. I wouldn't do any oils.
Like to give some advice, because I like farm, being from New Orleans, I just know the farms. That's what I was just wondering, if they were under stress here because of the constant weather changes.
Depends on the palm, and yes.
And the situation.
Yeah. As a general rule, you are correct. In fact, you could see sagos throughout the city that didn't take well to that last freeze we were talking about that damaged the anaquas. You see it throughout town. On the whole, not many of them died. There's a famous story where from the radio where in 2021 where I came on the radio and going, all the sagos are going to die, 95% of them. And then every week I go, well, maybe 55%. And then the following week, I was like, well, maybe only 5% died on that. So they are tough. If the fronds burn off, that does not mean the plant is going to die. They may put on new fronds.
I asked you a question the last time about banana trees. People call banana trees, and I know they're not banana trees. They're actual member of the grass family. And that's the same thing with a palm, because it doesn't have a true bark and it doesn't grow like a tree. It's like once you cut the tree down, what they call a palm tree, got the hiccups. But it's what is a palm? Actually, if you would please correct me on my statement.
No, that's a close analogy as grass. It is technically in the, I believe, lily family. But it has all of its water conducting tissue and food tissue bundled together, scattered throughout the trunk of the palm. So when you cut
and that was one of the things.
Yeah.
Well, that was one of the things when I lived when I was stationed in California. It was like how the conifers, how the great redwoods. Actually, somebody said no water can pump up that plant, and I'm like, well, I guess it does, because the plant's still.
It was a great mystery for a long period of time. And it would take an hour to go through all the cohesion, tension.
Yes, I know. You're a great arborist, Mike.
Yeah, we won't go through it all. But yeah, it was a great mystery. How can it go up? You can only go so far, 99 feet with tension. And how does it go further? So, yeah. It's a very interesting story. If you're into that, do some more research. The negative pressure that's involved that required it to get up to that 300 feet is incredible.
All right, Bert. We appreciate it. We got a break for the news right now.
Y'all.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Bye, Bert.
All right. We'll be right back with Millburgers Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Give us a call at 210-308-8867.
We're back with Milberger's Gardening South Texas, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Bulverde Road. Come out to visit or call us at 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. And now back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 930 AM The Answer.
Welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 930 AM The Answer. Alex Escobar with Dr. Calvin Finch and Mark Peterson. Give us a call at 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. Love to hear about any rain updates or the, what was it called, the Purple Martins. Any sightings that you may have seen. But yes, give us a call. 210.
I'd be interested, too, if anybody has seen much monarch action.
No monarchs. Before the show, I did see a hummingbird flying around here earlier.
I've seen hummingbirds there. If you got sugar water out there, the hummingbirds are finding it. Not only it surprises me that the woodpeckers like that sugar water. The golden-fronted woodpeckers find it, and they certainly, when they take a drink of it, they take a bigger drink than the hummingbirds do.
I know our neighbor's house, it has a woodpecker that we'll hear out there during the day, just throughout the day.
Yeah.
So it's always fun and interesting to hear.
Well, if they don't worry about any kind of blocked passage for the sugar water either. They just reopen it if they're having a problem getting at the sugar water. So yeah, that's interesting. What the other thing over there is this amazing begonias. Gosh.
Oh yeah.
If you're looking for a plant to fill a lot of shady garden area, we got begonias and 3 different kinds of leaves, 3 different kinds of blooms, and they're on sale, I believe.
Begonias are on sale. A 4-inch pot, regularly $179. They're on sale 8 for $12.
And they this kind of cool weather doesn't faze them a bit. They can tolerate it. They look fragile, but they're not fragile. Now, the coleus are a little bit more fragile, but the coleus are another one that you got lots of choices if you got shady areas to fill with space, to fill. You know what Mark, I was trying to remember that we could talk about a little bit, the larkspur.
Yeah.
You remember the larkspur?
Yeah.
Oh, we used to
have a big planting or a emphasis on that. What is it, the bunny-eared larkspur?
Sometimes they kind of they would take over.
Sometimes?
Yeah.
A lot of times they would.
They even, I always remember that they reseeded, and if you had them in the cut flower garden, they would even outgrow the snapdragons and even the zinnias at the beginning, and then so a lot of gardeners got kind of impatient with them and would toss them out. I always like to at least reserve a couple of rows for the larkspurs because they are very attractive.
They are. Their shape would lend itself to kind of in the back, kind of tall and maybe something smaller out in front. But they do overwhelm a bed after a while, so you always have to watch it.
I think the I don't know if it's the drought contributed to the reduction or just all the cold weather spells that we had, but I used to have just a dominant planting of it and the return of it, but now I just have a few scattered in there.
Yeah. And we used to talk about it a lot, but we haven't been talking about larkspur over the last couple of years. And maybe we were what do you call it, penalized for our own success or something. People just get tired of it because it could be overwhelming in the landscape. I don't know.
And another one of those kind of in the same league, the blue curl. Blue curl is blooming everywhere.
Yeah.
I somehow didn't imagine I would be pulling blue curl out like a weed. It's just like the, growing. I didn't want it overwhelming my vegetables and my other plants, so I've had to kind of control it. It's kind of like the sunflowers. They're very desirable, and I want patches of sunflowers for my goldfinches. And for the caterpillars, these gosh, I'm trying to think of the variety that lays their eggs. They used to drive Milton crazy because Milton liked the sunflowers more than he liked the butterflies.
So, yeah, but he was. Which got me to think about it the other day. Is there are a lot of different sunflowers. Small ones.
There's some great ones here.
Yeah. So don't think of the big ones that are more agricultural or kind of dominate the landscape. I've seen homes where they have 6 or 7, and they're like 6 or 7 feet tall as well.
But even the annual sunflowers will dominate the landscape if you let them. You gotta kind of designate areas for them, and then eliminate them from other areas so that they don't cover your whole landscape. They do need full sun, but yeah, it's nice if you do have a patch for those goldfinches and for the caterpillars and the butterflies that are attracted to them. They're a great pollinator attractor.
I had this one that was scarlet red. It wasn't the traditional yellow color.
Really?
It was a sunflower, or a member of the sunflower family, and that's a big family too.
Yeah.
But the foliage was all red, scarlet red.
I think sometimes we've had some of those seed in the rack here.
Yeah, that's where it comes from.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a Christmas gift that I gave, stocking stuffer that I gave someone, and they used it this spring, and it came up, and I had to look at it. I didn't know what it was.
Is the firewheel in the sunflower family, you suppose?
It could be.
Yeah,
it could be. I'd have to look it up.
That's kind of.
But it is a huge family.
But the sunflowers. That's another one that you want to get it under control. Designate where you want it in your landscape, and then have some of it there, so that you can attract those pollinators that may need it, and then also do the same thing for your blue curl, which is blooming, and we've been trying to get it in landscapes so that we'll have this nectar source available when the hummingbirds come in April, and it's there, it's blooming, easy to reseed. It'll grow in sun or shade, and of course the one place that you can get it now, still as far as I can tell, the only supplier is the Native American Seed Company, and easy to get it there. But also you might want to check with your garden club or your neighborhood gardeners and see if some of them have pulled some seed, because it is very productive in terms of the seed. But that one's blooming up a storm right now, too.
All right. 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. We talked about the begonias being on sale. The coleus are also on sale. A 4-inch pot, regularly $179, on sale, 8 for $12. We have a large selection of roses here as well at Millburgers. Different types, knockouts, modern hybrid teas, floribundas, multiflora, grandifloras, climbers, and more. The Mexican petunias in a number 1, regularly $9.99, on sale $8.88. And I've learned that petunias need to be, or these Mexican petunias have to be tended to so they don't overtake, I guess, a certain area of the garden from what y'all told me?
Well, they're in that same league with
sunflowers.
A lot of the sunflowers, yeah. They are wonderful. They're very attractive, but they will reproduce and will take as much territory as you let them have. But gosh, yeah, they're hard to beat in terms of the color of the flowers and easy to grow. And then, of course, we have the dwarf Ruellia here that we talk about as it's one of our classic choices for a ground cover. Relatively shade tolerant, will bloom in the sun or shade.
We have a large selection here, but it seems to be all the blue.
Yeah.
We always laugh when the pink comes up. Pink's always the first to sell out.
I just don't care for the pink, but
I agree.
But most gardeners do. I mean, it goes fast, and the white
like
is
the blue.
nice too. The white is a nice looking. And the thing about the dwarf Ruellia, it does not take over it fills your ground cover goals, but it doesn't take over the whole yard either. Relatively easy to keep it under control. Now, an attractive plant. Mark, how would you use? I know you're more familiar with the one with the
society
fragrance.
Society garlic.
See, a lot of people try to grow agapanthus, lily of the Nile, and that's really a Californian thing. The best agapanthus I ever saw was in San Diego. It just doesn't do as well here, but a great replacement for that would be the society garlic. So you have similar, although not exactly the same flowers. It flowers about the same time, and it has the strap-like leaves, albeit kind of thinner than the agapanthus. So that's where I do it. So in a bed, a semi or partial shade.
Does it work bed. In a row, or do you like it as a bed?
I would do it as a staggered 3-row or staggered 2-row, and that's what I would use it as. Exactly that same type of thing.
How long does it bloom?
Oh, it will bloom March through November.
Oh, wow. And I noticed that it seems to attract the pollinators, too.
Yeah.
The bees and even our friends, the hummingbirds.
So if you can get more sun, you get more blooms, but it will tolerate a little shade.
Now, I don't know if I would describe it as very wonderfully fragrant.
No.
It's very, fragrant. Well, it's very, it has a smell. But,
a distinct
A
aroma.
a distinct.
Distinct.
Well, since they put it up in front of us, I feel like I've grown accustomed to it.
Yeah.
It's actually a plant they use in the xeriscapes quite a bit.
Yes. Yeah, because it is very drought tolerant. It's one of the plants we would give away at our spring bloom events or Festival of Flowers.
And it is on sale, is it, Alex?
Yes, Society Garlic is on sale, just like the Mexican petunias. A number 1 regularly $9.99, on sale $8.88. And then we touched base on the viburnums. Viburnums are on sale. A number 3, $24.99, on sale $16.88. As well as the begonias are on sale. A 4-inch pot, regularly $179, on sale $8 for $12.
Now, they're not on sale, but I guess we should remind everybody that I know a lot of gardeners have been looking for them, including me. We do have some tropical milkweed here now. Just on the verge of blooming, but very nice looking foliage, lush foliage. very attractive, I'm sure, to the
to the butterflies.
butterflies, yeah. But it is here, and if you've been waiting for it, I'm sure if you had signed up for the phone communications here at Milberger, if you there's a specific plant you're after, you want to know when it's coming in or if it has come in, they will call you and alert you, and they'll put it aside for you. But tropical milkweed has been one of those that's targeted, and they are available. So if you want to be ready and wanted to make sure you have some foliage and milkweed plants for the monarchs to lay their eggs on, it is available here at Milberger's now.
And when should we be seeing the monarchs coming through?
Well, we should have.
They should have been here.
Yeah. 2 weeks ago we saw some, but they were not huge populations of them. But that this weather is this is not their favorite weather. This kind of cool weather like this, but they go through it. They might just get filled with their nectar, and in fact, I haven't seen a lot of them in my landscape, and usually I will know if they're in town because I'll see them in the landscape, and the neighbors will have them as well. Haven't seen any queens. Queens will show up in more towards the summer, but some of the swallowtails are out and about, and then of course we saw the black swallowtails, and also the other swallowtail that looks like the black swallowtail, only has the glow in the dark blue spots on it. But if the weather stabilizes and gets a little warmer, we should really see quite a few of our butterflies, and of course the monarchs are unpredictable. The minute I say, well, they should be here tomorrow, then they don't show up, and then you forget about them, and then
you say, well, I don't know where they are. All of a sudden, we'll see a bunch here. And
I'm sure Lulu and her class would give us a report if they were seeing a lot of them, and so would we got a lot of gardeners that are trying to attract the monarchs, and I think would be inclined to give us a report if they were seeing a lot of egg layers. But so far, not many reports.
Not much, but hopefully we can hear from someone at 210-308-8867. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to be right back with Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Give us a call at 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. Talked about some of the sales going on here at Milberger's. Want to finish off what we have for this week. Variegated ginger, values to $34.99, on sale $28.88. Citrus trees, those are starting at $59.99, and also part of the CPS Energy Shade Tree rebate.
Mark, did you get a chance?
Close. Green shade.
Green shade. Okay.
CPS Energy Green Shade Tree rebate.
Did you get a chance to review which varieties of citrus are available?
Are still there? No, I had 3 assignments and I got 2 of them. But I didn't do the citrus, no. But looking across, we still got a wide selection on that. And we still have some Arctic frost, I believe.
And we got some of the Meyer lemon, Mexican limes.
And there was also what's the grapefruit?
Oh,
Bloom sweet.
Bloom Sweet, yes.
We had a couple of those last week. So I haven't looked at this week, but we still have a good selection.
And these are nice-looking plants. And you're talking about an attractive plant in your backyard. You can't beat a citrus, especially when you get a visitor from the north. You know? Yeah, here's my
orange tree.
Yeah.
Or my
now don't tell them how difficult it is to keep it alive in the cold.
But there are very good looking ones.
Satsumas, we got some.
The Satsumas. I have an Arctic Frost at home, and this is the first year I have fruit on them. So I'm very pleased.
How big is it?
Well, I have it in a huge pot, which I can't move. Folks, sorry. Do as I say, not as I do. A huge pot, and it's 5 feet tall. And I keep it well watered because I have fruit on it this year. So it's well fertilized and well watered.
What do you think? You think it has 40 pieces of fruit on there?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some thinning. So on that, I know I'm gonna wait till you get about golf ball size and then do some thinning. Thin it about half to 2/3.
Oh wow! Good luck.
Yeah.
You know, in my peach orchard, one of the most challenging tasks was thinning the peaches. It was just hard to find staff people that would be comfortable doing it. You know,
it's very hard.
Can we keep them or? Why do we have to take those peaches off of there?
This is why we have hogs. We feed them to the hogs.
Hogs?
Hogs, yes.
Oh,
Pigs.
Pigs, oh.
Porcine. Yes. They like them.
Yeah, they like everything.
Yeah, well, that's why they like them. But it's the removal that's the hard process. Yeah. So anyway, that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm happy. It's been in the pot for 2 years, and this is the second year.
So it made it through at least one winter. Huh?
It's made it through 2 that I've had to wrap it all up. So I had lots of sheets, lots of thin slate, double thin slate all the way around, and then a sheet and a packing blanket at the base.
That's good. Yeah, because they are not easy to keep alive, especially the lemons and the limes.
Lemons and limes. So fortunately, this was a true Arctic Frost, and actually one of the last ones grown from seed or grown on its own rootstock, rather. And so I want to keep it maybe not for just ornamental or fruit purposes, but if there's any seed or anybody needs to make a cutting off this one, they're free to do so. So I'm keeping it more for production purposes, a la making more.
I wonder, Alex, have you verified, do we know that the CPS rebate is still available?
Yes, I just checked during the break, and the website's still
good work.
Still
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
I tried. What was it, about 3 weeks ago?
Yeah,
and I'm like getting this. This page is not found. This page is not found. And I complained to Alex, and sure enough, during the week he went and checked, and I went, it's still there. Thank you.
Yes, the site is still up to get the application form.
No, officially it does end April 30th.
Yes.
So you must have all receipts receipts marked April 30th. You don't have to have the application in at that time, but it must be postmarked as well.
Yes.
April 30th.
And that's 5 per address, $50 each one. You can actually get and they allow the number 3 pots?
Yeah.
So you could, on a lot of these selections, you could actually almost pay for the whole thing with the $50 rebate.
That's what you'd be looking for. It's kind of a zero sum that you'd be working up on.
And, of course, environmentally, that's an appropriate thing to do, and it's going to not only get you $50, but you're going to save some. In the long run, you'll save energy costs, considerable energy costs, if you plant the trees in the right spot. And they're not tough. CPS is encouraging everybody to participate and get involved. But see if you can make the most of it in terms of your energy. We used to think about the west side and the south side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So originally it was west, south, and east, not the north. But when I reviewed the website a couple of months ago, I noticed those cardinal direction requirements were not required anymore. And neither the distance from the house. Ideally, we would like to have shade trees 15 feet or more from the building, and then the smaller trees 10 feet or more from the building. But I noticed those requirements were not on there anymore. Still practice good arboricultural techniques and planting when you plant.
So if you've already purchased some, it'd be recommended that you go ahead and try to get that, take advantage of getting that rebate. It may not, you've got a short time before April, the end of April, if you haven't purchased them yet, but I was just thinking of the wonderful selection of trees right now here at Millburgers. Gosh, and they look good. They like this weather.
Yeah.
All the oaks and cedar elms out there, and the fruit trees. Well, I guess some of the fruit trees anyway. But so, yeah, that if you are planning on getting some more trees for your landscape, and it's convenient for you to do it before April 30th, you can take advantage of those rebates.
Absolutely. 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. We have Larry on the line. Larry's got a rain report for us.
All right, good. How much did you get, Larry?
Good afternoon. How are we doing?
An even inch. New Braunfels.
Right. Where are you?
1863 and 46 West, about 3 miles east of the where you're going to be speaking in 2 weeks.
Oh, okay, yeah, right down the hill or the valley there. I always like to say when 46 and 1863 come together.
Yep, right by T-Bar M. Yeah, and also Purple
That's
Martins.
You speaking or
Purple
me
Martins.
speaking?
No, that's what Larry's telling, and I'm agreeing with him. I know exactly where he lives.
Oh.
There you go. Thank you. Yeah, you can come and bring donuts whenever you stop by. Dunkin' Donuts. Hey, we had Purple Martin showed up 24th of March. Had some scouts. I could hear them, but I could never see them. About 2 weeks before, and then one day they showed up in mass. So I've probably got 8 or 10 pair fighting with the sparrows.
Is that what do you traditionally have? Is that a full population, or is it just started over again?
Well, I have two 24-hole houses that have been up for 30 years. So they, I mean, what's the life expectancy of a Purple Martin? 5-7 years.
Yeah. Well, Larry? Provided I guess you've provided me some of that information over the last few years.
Maybe in the past.
Yeah.
I've called in before. Yeah, but it's funny because I put my houses up maybe end of February. I put one up, and then a couple weeks later I put the other one up. But when I heard those scouts, that's when I put the second one up. But and then I had a Facebook memory pop up from 2 years ago or 3 years ago, and it was the same date that I had seen them. So they were right on time. But I've had them as early as the first week in March, so I guess it just depends on the weather.
Yeah,
Anyway.
That was always seemed to be always my target date was the 1st of March. Now, you have
they
any
were a little
idea,
late this year.
Larry, do you have any idea on I mentioned earlier in the show that I saw purple martins either yesterday or today early in the morning out on a group of them out on the road. I couldn't quite if there was an insect hatch or if they were just getting relief from the wind and the cold.
Were they on the ground?
What that might
were they
be?
Were they on the ground?
Yeah, on the.
They were just sitting on the. They were just sitting on the highway.
Yeah, and kind of moving around, kind of restless.
Well, so they were probably just warming their tushes, but we have occasionally after a rain we'll have a nymph hatch, and it's always quite entertaining when that happens because you'll have hundreds of little bitty, I don't know what they are, moths or whatever out there flying, coming out of the ground, emerging, and the purple martins are just having a feast.
I'll bet
swooping
that's
down,
what it
eating,
was,
and just having a good time. Yeah, it normally happens just right after a rain. Now, I haven't been out. I've been on the road today, and so I haven't been in my yard to see if that's happening in my yard today. But these purple martins, I have competition from a new neighbor that has a newer house. And my houses, being 30 years old, they're a little dilapidated, but they're aluminum, and they're on a pole that you can raise up and down, and so they're still viable, but so much competition from the sparrows. I clean the houses out, and then if they don't show up in time, I'll let them down and clean them out again so that they have fresh holes. But it's always it's interesting because it seems like the purple martins have they always choose the same spots to build their nest in. So I see that redundantly from year to year, and I think it has to do with the flyaway. When they leave, they always like to be on a north-facing side, away from trees, so they can have a good flight pattern to get out. So anyway. So look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks, Calvin, and y'all have a great day. Appreciate your program.
All right.
Thank you for calling in, Larry. Thank you so much.
Where am I speaking in a couple of weeks?
You're speaking at the resource, 325.
Oh, in New Braunfels?
325, 325 Resource Drive.
Larry, what is
I'm
that?
locked in.
About quarters of a mile?
That's the Larry.
No, it's 3 miles. It's 3.
I was trying to relate you, Larry, to Purple Martins rather than to Larry, the Master Gardener from Comal County.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Yeah, Mark's a step ahead of you. He had one more donut than you today, so there you go.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, one more cup of coffee.
Y'all take care.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you so much.
Enjoy your program. Y'all take care.
Well, thank you very much for that Martin report, too.
Yes, thank you. 210-308-8867. We're going to take one last break for today. We're going to be right back with Millburgers Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. There we go. Welcome back to Millburgers Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Give us a call at 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. Got about 15 minutes on our show for this Sunday and for this weekend.
Well, I was going to tell you during the break. I said I got to tell you about this text message that I got early in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody goes, "What are these trees that are blooming all over Alamo Heights?" I looked at them. I'm like, I don't know, blooming all over Alamo Heights. Show me a photo. So he sent me a photo, and I went, Oh, those are Mexican olives. They're white blooming flowers all over.
I was going to bring them up, too. They're blooming all over.
Blooming all over. So when you said that earlier, it drove regarding the retamas and the Palo Verde, it drove it out, but it reminded me of it, too, at the same time. So Mexican olive, big white flowers, a.k.a. wild olive.
Yeah. But kind of a different feeling, though, than the Ratama.
Correct. So, very dry. The Ratama screams desert plant.
Yeah.
The
Xeriscape.
Yeah, but the
Desert
olive...
Willow says, I want to be where it's gentle and I want to show off.
But it's probably just as xeric. Adaptations of the leaf, the physiology of the tree. Yes, it's susceptible to freeze. So it's South Texas, but it is blooming up a storm all throughout San Antonio. Yeah, that was Milton calling me early in the morning. So.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're hard to beat too. They're so attractive.
They are, and there used to be a huge one at the Alamo. It went through 5 freezes over my tenure here in South Texas. The last 2 were really did it in. I think finally 2021 was it.
I've got 2 in my yard, and one of them is like in the real open. Mm-hmm. The other one is kind of hidden away and sheltered.
Uh-huh.
And that one is always, the sheltered one is always slower to bloom. I don't know why. I would guess it would be just the opposite because it's kind of in a protective location. But it's been there for a lot of years, so maybe that's a factor. I don't know.
Yeah, the main detriment is cold. But what I tell everybody, if you are around downtown and further south or further southwest, you're probably okay.
Now that's probably not a plant that north of Austin is probably not.
No. We had a caller one time last year or the year before. Says, I live in Canyon Lake, and I have a problem with my Mexican olive. And of course, had a smart alecky response. I go, well, there's your problem. And so, it's not a plant to be grown north of 1604 where we are. Yeah, you could try it, but don't have high hopes for it. It is definitely south of 410 plant. But it's a beautiful plant.
Oh, gosh, yes.
All during summer. So we think about that. The native plants that bloom throughout the summer. It's Mexican olive, the retamas, and then the list starts going down a little bit because maybe if there's a rainfall, some plants bloom, like kidneywood. Very fragrant, very, very aromatic, but it doesn't bloom unless there's some rain coming, much like the cenizo. And then you got crepe myrtles. And so that's the reason why everybody loves crepe myrtles. It does provide beautiful color in the summertime.
Well, and then the fact that you can kind of pick and choose what the size you want and the color of the flowers. And
got over 120 different possibilities for you to choose from.
Yeah, makes it too complex sometimes. Gosh, I don't want to be faced with this kind of a process. I don't want to have to research for 2 months before I pick my selection. But a lot of nurseries do a good job of identifying the size and the color, and so that gardeners can say, yeah, that's going to be perfect for me. That's the size I want. So that, and that's a great thing to do because you don't you don't want to be pruning the crepe myrtles every single year. You shouldn't have to prune them every single year because they've been bred and developed to fit the exact situation in a landscape.
Yeah, you can get them. Well, the largest one will be up to about 35, 38 feet tall, but that's very large. Most of them are 20, but you can also get ones that are 10, max out at 10, and then ones that max out at 6, and then you have even ones that max out at 12 inches tall.
True.
It's amazing that your selections that you have for crepe myrtles. Anyway, we go on and on about crepe myrtles, but they are, for those native plant enthusiasts, I know they're not native, but they do fill a space in the landscape.
They do. And I think it's not always advisable to be 100% native.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you want to understand what you're getting into when you choose non-native plants, but there's a lot of very desirable plants. Almost every rose is a non-native. Mm-hmm. Well, and roses are having a tough time now too, except we've been lucky in San Antonio. But hell, there he is. We're looking at a dog. That's
hey,
he's having a good time. He's taking his master around to take a close look at the nursery here.
So many sights, so many sounds.
Yeah.
Anyway, come on out. Millburgers.
Yes.
The show's ending, but yeah, the store won't close until 5 today on Sunday.
Yes, and just finish off the sales they have this week. The Texas Sage, 15% off. Values up to $44.99. I know we helped the customer earlier in the day. They were looking for the Texas Sages.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of different. A lot of them were in bloom too back there.
Yeah. So, I'll have to go look too because they didn't have it in Lynn's Legacy.
I didn't see any Lynn's Legacy.
So, so they were. I asked the staff after yesterday's show, what do we have back there? And they kind of looked at me going, well, we have so many different ones. But they did say, well, we don't have any Lynn's Legacy anymore at this time. And but there were so many they couldn't remember which ones were there. So I'd probably have to go look myself on that. But and then the viburnums, they knew they had 4, and the one I couldn't remember, folks, is called Spring Bouquet.
Oh gotcha.
That's a smaller one.
Yeah.
And that's a very good one. I like that. And then they have the Senaqua, and they have the Sweet, and then they have Spring Bouquet, and then they have one more, which I can't remember the name.
Yeah, that was. But they've got some. I don't know if they're old selections but some very large selections. Texas Sage back there too. Uh-huh. Some of the. I think of them as old-fashioned. The colors of the leaves and they've all got distinctive shapes and different colored blooms.
Oh, you told me they had green cloud, and I mentioned green cloud yesterday.
Yeah, the green cloud is noticeably because it's
noticeably green.
Yeah, and it looks it's a disciplined kind of grower and a kind of a moderate size.
Yeah, so in my experience, the green cloud has a little growth in its speed. Help me out. Speed in its growth, and also grows a little bit taller. So that's been my experience. For those wanting a hedge and they have full sun, the green shade is a good one because it also has the flowers, the blue flowers.
Yeah.
And that.
Yeah, Texas sage is not a shade plant.
No.
Full sun, that's another plant that fits really well into a xeriscape landscape.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I've had people over the years ask me, I'm driving down to Corpus, and I get past Three Rivers, and I see all these hills, well, this silver plant and there's blue flowers. What is that? That's cenizo. The barren rocks before you get to the coastal plain, and rocks and dry soils and hills and everything, and you see this silver plant with blue flowers, and you're going, yeah, it's cenizo.
Well, at some point, where is the Texas mountain laurel that is native that same kind of situation?
You'll see it. You see the dark green plants? There's mountain laurel. So mountain laurel doesn't have an extensive range, but it has an extensive range within this little area. So it's hill country, parts of South Texas, parts of West Texas, but it's pretty much central on that.
Another thing I would like to get and I'm sure there a lot of data must exist on the milkweed thick areas where these thickets grow, because we're talking about at least 6 native milkweeds right around San Antonio. And some of them are widespread, butterfly weed and showy and swamp are widespread, but it'd be really interesting to see that exact location of those.
I see a doctorate in there for somebody to identify all the different milkweed locations in South Central Texas. And identify the locations, describe them, and describe the site, and then identify the species that are associated with those sites. Species identify with those sites. Yes. I don't have any money for you, but I see a doctorate in there, or at least a master's in there somewhere.
Well, and I think it would be an interesting topic, too. I think a lot of individuals would think it was an interesting topic, just based on the interest we were able to motivate with the classes we're offering. Yeah, folks are interested. They appreciate the monarch butterfly, and they're interested in its complex natural history and it just unpredictable. And even the controversy between the researchers I think stimulates some interest. Like Monica's book.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you, we'll talk more and more about that, of course, in the classes that we're talking about, the ones in New Braunfels on May 2nd at 9:30 a.m. and then the one on Thursday at 6 p.m. in Floresville at the court. Wilson County Court area, and if you want to attend that, go ahead and look for the flag. The Master Gardeners say they'll have the flag out there in the courtroom, but give them a call too, to reserve a spot.
Yes, and we think. Yeah, give the numbers real quick before we end the show.
Yeah,
Floresville is 830-299-0069, and the one for New Braunfels is 830-620-3440. We want to thank you again for listening to Millburgers South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Alex Escobar, Dr. Calvin Finch, and Mark Peterson. Have a great week.